To Jaw Radio, as we are here once again for another of our weekly Shabbat teachings. This is Chazak Aliyahu, and I will be assisted by George as we go through this teaching today. Okay, good. All right. So, as you look at the title, True Worship versus Worship of the Beast and His Image, we continue in the times because we are in the end times, and that is what we are here for. We are the end time saints, helping as Yahuwah provides to guide our people in these end times, in these times when the beast is riding high and deceiving the whole world. It is our task to ensure that we are not deceived, and not only that, whatever we are given that lets us overcome the beast, we have to speak it out. All right, true worship versus worship of the beast and his image. And let me just deal with this for the meantime, because what we want to show you, we want to show that the Most High has a standard of worship, and that his standard of worship is not the same as has been given to us in religion. Most of us who come into this way, we tend to bring aspects of what we have been given, because most of us came through the religion of Christianity with its easy way, its easy path, no real requirement. You just do a few things and you are good. We are here to show you that that is not what the word is about. The word is about a people who are in perfection before the Most High, a suffering people, an afflicted people, a people who will have denied themselves before the Most High and be literally dragged through the dirt unto perfection of the Spirit. Because as Yahushua Mashiach says, the flesh profiteth what? Nothing. You remember that verse? The flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I give you, they are ruach, or spirit, and they are life. So the Most High wants to reduce us from being fleshly people into people who are of the ruach. And it is a slow, sometimes slow, arduous process. Now, between worship of the Most High, there is idolatry. Anything that is not worship of the Most High, there is idolatry. For us to be pure in the Most High, for the Most High to chasten us and lead us unto salvation, He has to lead us to a place where we are in no form of idolatry. We only worship Him. And the Most High is seeking people in the end who only worship Him. So He hates idolaters. Leviticus 26 verse 30. Yahuwah hates those who are idolaters.
And I will destroy your high places, and cut down your images, and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols, and my soul shall abhor you.
My soul shall abhor you, my soul shall hate you. Now the meaning of idolaters is G1496, taken from, it's not in the Old Testament as the word idolaters, but in the New Testament it's there, G1496. It is idolateres, which comes from G1497, an image, servant of, worshipper, literally or figuratively. An image, servant or worshipper. So it's either you are a servant of an image or you are a worshipper of an image. That is idolatry. And of course, an image does not have to be something that you carve. The image can be ourselves. Verse 31.
And I will make your cities waste, and bring your sanctuaries unto desolation, and I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors. And I will bring the land into desolation, and your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at it.
And that's how much our Father hates idolatry. Now, in the latter days, some men will repent from idolatry, and some men will not. We are in the latter days, people, in which some of us will repent of our idolatry, but some of us will not. Let's go to Isaiah 2, verses 12 to 21. Hold on, please. Isaiah 2, verses 12 to 21. Let's go, please.
For the day of Yahuwah of hosts shall be upon every one that is proud and lofty, and upon every one that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low.
So there is no space for the proud in the kingdom of the Most High. There is no space for the proud in the latter days. No space for the proud and lofty. He shall be brought low. Verse 13.
And upon all the cedars of Lebanon that are high and lifted up, and upon all the oaks of Bashan, and upon all the high mountains, and upon all the hills that are lifted up, and upon every high tower, and upon every fenced wall, and upon all the ships of Tarshish, and upon all pleasant pictures.
All right, so all of these are figurative for us in these last days. The cedars of Lebanon, these refer to exalted people that are high and lifted up, and all the oaks of Bashan. This is speaking of exalted people. And upon all the high mountains, it's speaking about the exalted nations, the primary leaders of this world. These are the high mountains. And upon all the hills refers to what we have today as countries. And upon every high tower, this is every nation that has great exalted power. So a high tower would be like United States, Great Britain, France, all those people, China, Russia, those people with nuclear power, weapons and all of that. And upon every fenced wall, the fenced wall there, again, deals with protection. So you might not have nuclear weapons, but you might have a powerful army. And like, for example, Finland and all of those places. Those will be the fenced walls. And upon all the ships of Tarshish, this refers to Babylon, upon deals with merchandising, and upon all pleasant pictures. The pleasant pictures there, I think, refers to the images. Let me see. 87914, from the same as a conspicuous object. So everything that is coveted, the Most High will target those. Continue. And the loftiness.
And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of man shall be made low, and Yahuwah alone shall be exalted in that day.
And verse 18.
And the idols he shall utterly abolish, and they shall go into the holes of the rocks, and into the caves of the earth, for fear of Yahuwah, and for the splendor of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth.
So notice when mankind hides for fear of Yahuwah, when he makes his move. For us as believers, we have to fear him now, before he makes his move. Because if we wait until he makes his move to fear him, it will be too late. So we have to fear him now and make the necessary changes in our lives, so that when he makes his move, then we can be set apart and protected in the day of trouble. Verse 20.
In that day a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they made each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats, to go into the clefts of the rocks, and into the tops of the ragged rocks, for fear of Yahuwah, and for the splendor of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth.
All right, so notice the Most High. It says his idols of gold and silver, which they made each one for himself to worship. And we're going to see that worship, we're going to look further at worship and see why we tell believers, please leave jewelry alone. Leave jewelry alone. The gold and the silver and all those things that we covet. Leave these objects alone. If we have an affinity to it, a weakness for it, then it is worship. We do not have to put down that chain and be worshiping it. As long as we have an unusual love or connection to it, that is worship. And we're going to see that later. Now we have to be reminded, and we always remind ourselves about this. These are a couple scriptures that we always use. The earth is in the hand of the wicked, and we know what is coming next. What is coming next, Amikai? The earth is in the hand of the wicked. Eh? Job 9:24. Job 9:24. Read it, please, George.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Notice what the wicked does. He covereth the faces of the judges. The people who are to be the judges of the Most High. The wicked covers their faces, so he blinds them. Very important. Let's go and look at the wicked a little bit more in Isaiah 10, verses 1 to 11. I think we looked at it a few weeks ago. Isaiah 10, 1 to 11.
You've got Psalms down there.
Psalms, so there's something connection between Isaiah and Psalms. I'm always mixing up the two. Always. Maybe the rock is telling me something. Go ahead.
Why standest thou afar off, O Yahuwah? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble?
Now, this is what we are going to be saying. This is what we are saying now, but not so much now. A few months, a couple of years, if so much, probably a few months. This is what we are going to be praying to Yahuwah. Why hidest thyself in times of trouble? Because the wicked is going to rage upon this earth, and it will seem as if Yahuwah does not exist. That's what's going to happen. And the wicked is just going to be proud and take over the entire earth, and everything is just wickedness and evil. And we are going to wonder, where is Yahuwah? Verse 2.
The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
Notice who they have persecuted? The poor. All right? And it does not only mean poor in pocket, it means poor in ruach, those who are disadvantaged, persecuted on this earth. All right, so if we look at the meaning of that word poor, let me just do it. Poor, it's ani, depressed in mind or circumstances. So that sums it up. I don't have to go any further. Continue.
For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom Yahuwah abhorreth.
And we know how the wicked is doing on this earth. They are boasting of their heart's desire. I was watching something from this, and we're going to speak about it later. Anyway, this wicked man that is boasting, mocking the Bible and boasting about what they are going to be doing with their AI. So this is prime example. Boast of their heart's desire. Verse 4.
The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after Yahuwah. Yahuwah is not in all his thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
Mm-hmm.
He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
And this is what they are doing upon this earth. Look at this carefully. This is what is happening on this earth. Verse 8.
He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor.
I remember when we were back home with this Mark of the Beast thing, and we saw the health ministry. What they did, they parked their van in the middle of the town and were wooing the poor. And we would see the poor people who were so innocent, not having any knowledge, nothing, going there. I mean, I see one person going there like, oh, I felt it to my heart, but you couldn't do anything about it. This is this verse. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. And they call the people in their van and puncture them with that thing. His eyes are privily set against the poor. Anyway, verse 9.
He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones.
So that's why when you see them having this thing, when they had this thing, they were speaking so nice and with a nice calm tone of voice, and they humbled that the strong ones, the ones that they send out, that the poor may fall by them and be given this thing. We have to be speaking in codes. Understand what I'm saying. Verse 11.
He hath said in his heart, YAHUAH hath forgotten. He hideth his face, he will never see it.
And that is how they act today in this world. Now, here is one verse that I know many of you never saw. This one is a secret one that I just saw it while preparing this. It's in the book of Job. Job, chapter 16, verse 12. Speaking about the wicked. And here's what he said about the wicked. Job chapter 16, verse 12.
I was at ease, but he hath broken me asunder. He hath also taken me by my neck, and shaken me to pieces, and set me up for his mark.
And done what?
Set me up for his mark.
The wicked. Job 16:12. Speaking about the wicked. He said, I was at ease, but he hath broken me asunder. Weren't we living our lives normally? We are going about our businesses. Everything was okay. All of a sudden they come with this thing. We were at ease, but he had broken me asunder. He had also taken me by the neck and shaken me to pieces. This is what they did in their pandemic. That's what they did. They broke us, they shook us to pieces, and set us up for the mark. So before the mark, the pandemic, and everybody was ruffled, and everybody reached to the point of frustration and desperation, till people said, boy, the only thing we can do to get rid of this is to do this thing. This is it right here. Job 16, verse 12. So Satan has not changed. He does the same thing over and over again. And if we look at the meaning of mark there, it is H4307. It is the Hebrew word matara. It is a jail, as a guardhouse. Also an aim as being closely watched. Mark, prison. This is the whole thing that we have been preaching about, this thing. When you take this thing, you are closely watched. Why? Because of what they put inside of you. Well, I can't even do these teachings here because I can't speak like how I want to speak. I have to be holding back. Yeah? You are in a jail. Oh man, I wasn't even recording it. You are in a jail, which means you are held captive. When you are held captive in a jail, you actually are watched and manipulated and managed by the jail master. From way back in the book of Job, it was telling us this. And Satan has not changed. Remember, we're talking about worship, true worship versus worship of the beast. Many of us did not understand what it meant by worshiping the beast. If we knew, many people would have lived their lives differently. So for those now who are out there, we are showing you the distinction. Satan has not changed. He still requires us to worship him so as to partake of his world. Satan requires us to worship him so as to partake of his world. That is why we are given the religion of Christianity, which is Satan's religion, to worship Satan, and Islam, Satan's religion, to worship Satan. That is why we were given the choice that some of us, we could not work unless we did this thing, and we could not this unless we did this or we did that. So we're going to show you the correlation between Matthew 4:10 and in Jeremiah 44, how Satan still works the same. Matthew 4 verses 8 to 10, and we should know that by heart as well. Very, very critical verses that are very important to us today. Matthew 4 verse 8.
Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the splendor of them, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
So we have to first fall down and worship Satan before he gives us anything. What verse 10 says?
Then said YAHUAH unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship YAHUAH thy Elohah, and him only shalt thou serve.
There we go. This is what the whole thing is about. Worshipping Elohah only. That is what this teaching is about. To show us how to worship Yahuwah only. How to worship Yahuwah only so that we do not fall into the worship of Hasatan. So Hasatan has not changed. Jeremiah 44 verses 16 to 18. Let's go. This is another example of how Hasatan requires us to worship him in order for us to be rewarded in this world. Remember, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The world is in the hand of Satan. Verse 16, read it please.
As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of Yahuwah, we will not hearken unto thee. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings and our princes in the cities of Judah, and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victuals, and were well, and saw no evil.
You see that? When you worship the Queen of Heaven, who is Easter, or Ishtar, it says they had plenty of food and were well and saw no evil. Why? Satan rewards them for worshiping him. But when it comes to worship of Yahuwah now, it's a whole different ball game. That is why when we come from Christianity to worship Yahuwah, life suddenly becomes tough. Why is that? It is the mercy of the Most High. He is thinking less about this life and thinking about eternal life for us. Satan focuses on this life, how comfortable we are right now. But the Most High says, take discomfort now so that you will be with me in the kingdom. Two opposites. So when you come to serve Yahuwah, prepare yourself for what? Temptation. Prepare yourself for trouble. Your whole life will collapse. Your whole world will turn upside down. But if you go and worship God, man, you're good. You see the Christians suffering. I mean, you want to go over in the West and see how prosperous the Christians are. Why is that so? They don't know that they are worshiping Satan under the deception. That's it. Go verse 18, please.
But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine.
All right, so those of us who are new to the way now, listen to this. When they were worshiping the Queen of Heaven, they said, we had plenty of victuals, we were well, and we saw no evil. But when they stopped, what did they get? They have wanted all things, they have been consumed by the sword and famine. This is the chastening of Yahuwah. Yeah? So, when you worship Satan, your life is going to be nice and comfortable. So it is your choice. Do you want to be comfortable in this world? Or are you seeking for eternal life in the kingdom? So Satan has his thing. But the Most High has called us into a royal priesthood. So Satan has his priesthood, the unrighteous priesthood. The Most High has a different priesthood in which the ways and the things of the Most High are different. So he calls the children of Israel. Who does he call? The children of Israel into a royal priesthood. 1 Peter 2, verse 9.
But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a set-apart nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who has called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
All right, 1 Peter 2, verse 9. And this is one of the more popular verses from Christianity. But they don't know nor realize that this is not speaking to everyone. This is speaking to the children of Israel. Because who was Kepha or Peter speaking to in 1 Peter 2, verse 9? We have to look at who the book is addressed to. 1 Peter 1, verse 1. Read it, please.
Peter, an apostle of YAHUAH HaMashiach, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, Bithynia.
And Bithynia.
Bithynia.
So these are who he was speaking to the strangers. Now the word strangers there is a word that is only used twice in the Bible. And it is the Greek word parepidemos, and it means an alien alongside. That is a resident foreigner. Kepha was the apostle unto the circumcision. The circumcision are the Israelites. Peter was speaking to the Israelites who are scattered abroad throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. So when he says you're a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, he was speaking to the children of Yasharal. Let's get a little more proof. Now, 1 Peter was written to the elect, who the Most High foreknew. The elect. Remember in 1 Peter 2, it says, 1 Peter 1, verse 1, it says, to the strangers scattered through Pontus and Bithynia. But if we go to 1 Peter 1, verse 2, the verse that comes after that one, here is what we have. 1 Peter 1, verse 2. Read it, please.
Elect.
Oh, stop. What is that word?
Elect.
All right. Read it now, please.
Elect according to the foreknowledge of YAHUAH, the Father.
All right. Elect according to the foreknowledge. Please take note of those two words. Elect and foreknowledge. Continue. Elect according
to the foreknowledge of YAHUAH the Father, through sanctification of the Ruach, unto obedience, and the sprinkling of the blood of YAHUAH HaMashiach, favor unto you, and peace be multiplied.
All right, so Where are we? Yes. So, elect and foreknowledge. No, I didn't put in. Hey, I didn't change this one. Let me see where I can find it. The Most High has called us into a royal priesthood. Let me see if I can find it quickly. I forgot to put in that. What a critical error. I found it, I think. I think I found it. No, it's not that one. Where is this? All right, yes, here it is. I found it. All right, so First Peter was written to the elect who the Most High foreknew. And there we have First Peter 1 verse 2. Now if we go to Isaiah 45 verse 4, we see who the elect is. Read Isaiah 45 verse 4, please.
For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Yasharel, mine elect.
And who?
Yasharel, mine elect.
So when First Peter 1 verse 2 is speaking about elect according to the foreknowledge of YAHUAH, it is speaking to the children of Yasharal. And verse 4 went on to say, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. And it is speaking to us. He has called us, though we have not known him. Now, who did YAHUAH foreknow? Remember, it says, elect according to the foreknowledge of YAHUAH the Father. Who did YAHUAH foreknow? Romans 11 verse 1.
I say then, hath YAHUAH cast away his people? YAHUAH forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. YAHUAH hath not cast away his people, which he foreknew.
All right. His people which he foreknew. Who is he speaking to? The children of Yasharal. So, we get back now to 1 Peter 2, verse 9. And we go back to 1 Peter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a set-apart nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. This is speaking to the children of Yasharal. And this also has to do with the difference between salvation and redemption. So, where is this royal priesthood coming from? Exodus 19, verse 5.
Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a set apart nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Yasharal.
So the royal priesthood is for the children of Yasharal. Now, Romans 9 verse 3.
For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the splendor, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of YAHUAH, and the promises. You see that? Service of YAHUAH? I want you to look at it very carefully. When you are a priest offers up service to the Most High. We are called as a royal priesthood. We have to offer up service of YAHUAH. Here in Romans 9, it is telling us that to Israelites pertain the adoption, the splendor, the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of YAHUAH, and the promises. So we have to do the services of YAHUAH, and we're going to see what the services of YAHUAH is. And it actually is worship, and we're going to see the nature of this worship. So priests, remember we are a royal priesthood. The priests must offer up sacrifices because we are a royal priesthood.
So in Hebrews 5 verse 1, it tells us, for every high priest, can you see it?
No.
Read it, please. For every high priest taken from among men is ordained for men in things pertaining to YAHUAH, that he may offer both gifts and sacrifices for sins. So if you are a royal priesthood, we are ordained to offer gifts and sacrifices unto YAHUAH. That is the service of YAHUAH. So if we go to Leviticus 2 verse 13, it tells us the same thing. Leviticus 2 verse 13. Go ahead, please.
And every oblation of thy meat offering shalt thou season with salt. Neither shalt thou suffer the salt of the covenant of thy YAHUAH to be lacking from thy meat offering.
No, this is the wrong one. This is the wrong one. Let me see. Oh yes. Right one. Go ahead. Start it over, please. God, this is very important.
And every oblation of thy meat offering shalt thou season with salt. Neither shalt thou suffer the salt of the covenant of thy YAHUAH to be lacking from thy meat offering. With all thine offerings thou shalt offer salt.
To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. I want you to look at this very, very carefully, because Hamashiach made reference to it in one of his sayings, and most people did not pay attention to it. Every oblation of thy meat offering shalt thou season with salt. Neither shalt thou suffer the salt of the covenant of thy YAHUAH to be lacking from thy meat offering. So every offering that we make unto YAHUAH must have salt on it. With all thine offerings thou shalt offer salt. Now let's go to a saying of Hamashiach to get an understanding of what true service to the Most High, true believers have to do. So let's go to the book of Marcos 9:43-50. Mark 9:43-50. Remember this Luke 2:13 carefully. Mark 9.
Leviticus 2:13, not Luke.
Yeah. Mark 9:43-50. Read it, please.
And if thy hand offend thee, cut it off. It is better for thee to enter into life maimed than having two hands to go into hell, into the fire that never shall be quenched.
Hamashiach is laying the foundation here for what we are saying. Our life is a life of sacrifice. It is a life of struggling unto death. That's what it is. A hard life. The life of a believer is not a cakewalk. He said, if your hand offend you, cut it off. Because the kingdom is more important than having your two hands. Continue.
Where their worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched.
So we know today we have to be looking unto eternal life so as to avoid the lake of fire. Verse 45.
And if thy foot offend thee, cut it off. It is better for thee to enter halt into life than having 2 feet to be cast into hell, into the fire that never shall be quenched.
Of course, this is actually literally and spiritually as well. Spiritually, no matter what or who offends you, that is preventing you from the kingdom, cut it off. If you have a family member that is preventing you from the kingdom, cut them off. That's why he says, if any man hate not his father, mother, brother, sister, whatever, they're not worthy of the kingdom. Anything that is stopping you from the kingdom, cut it off. Continue. Verse 49 now is in direct reference to Leviticus 2:13. Read, please.
For every one shall be salted with fire, and every sacrifice shall be salted with salt.
What does he mean there? Let's go back to Leviticus 2:13. Read it again, please.
And every oblation of thy meat offering shall thou season with salt. Neither shalt thou suffer the salt of the covenant of thy YAHUAH to be lacking from thy meat offering. With all thine offerings thou shalt offer salt.
So whatever we offer to the Most High as a sacrifice, salt must be on it. Now let's see what the Most High says about the salt. For everyone shall be salted with what?
Fire.
Shall be salted with fire. So what is he saying there? Every sacrifice that we give, today the salt is fire. Our lives as believers is nothing, no comfort. Everyone shall be salted with fire, and every sacrifice shall be salted with salt. So every he's saying, since the salt, everyone will be salted with fire, and every sacrifice must be salted with salt. Therefore, every one of you have to go through fire. So that is why if your hand offend you, cut it off. So our life, people, is not a stroll in the park. Because it says in the final verse 50,
Salt is good, but if the salt have lost his saltiness, wherewith will ye season it? Have salt in yourselves, and have peace one with another.
So if the salt have lost its saltness, that is why our salt has to be fire. Because if we do not go through the fire, we are going to get what? Lethargic. We are going to get complacent. We are going to get lazy. We're going to have apathy. So we have to go through the fire in order to keep us on our toes. And in this covenant, our sacrifices are continual. I use the wrong word up there, continuous. Our sacrifices are continual. Remember, in the sacrificial system, there were burnt offerings, and there was the continual burnt offerings. Our lives as believers, the sacrifice that we give are continual burnt offerings, which means our sacrifices never end. Our life is a life of sacrifice. Numbers 28 verse 3.
And thou shalt say unto them, This is the offering made by fire which ye shall offer unto YAHUAH. 2 lambs of the first year without spot, day by day, for a continual burnt offering.
You see it? This is the offering that we give. 2 lambs, innocent though we are. And this is why it says in 1 Peter 2, it is the will of YAHUAH that you suffer even when you do that which is right. Even when you are right to suffer. It's the same principle. The lambs, nothing as humble as the lamb. The lamb will just walk to the slaughter. It is the same thing. We have to be like lambs going to the slaughter. Though we are right, we still give up ourselves as a continual burnt offering. Verse 4.
The one lamb shalt thou offer in the morning, and the other lamb shalt thou offer at even, and the 10th part of an ephah of flour for a meat offering, mingled with the 4th part of an hin of beaten oil.
Verse 6.
It is a continual burnt offering, which was ordained in Mount Sinai for a sweet savour, a sacrifice made by fire unto YAHUAH.
And this now, in the magnified law, is still with us. In Romans 12, the Apostle Shaul told us the same thing in different words. Romans 12, verse 1.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of YAHUAH, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, set apart, acceptable unto YAHUAH, which is your reasonable service.
Which is your reasonable what?
Service.
Remember, we are a royal priesthood. Our reasonable service is to present ourselves a living sacrifice, a continual burnt offering. Now, there are 4 things that we get from that verse. A living sacrifice, set apart or holy as they have it, acceptable unto YAHUAH, and number 4, service. Now, the meaning of the word service is the Greek word latreia, which means ministration of YAHUAH. That is worship, divine service. So, the point is, our true worship is not in how much noise we can make and jump up and touch this ceiling. Yes? True worship is in how much we present ourselves as a sacrifice unto Yahuwah. These are the people in the end who are going to overcome. Because we're going to look in the book of, and we've looked at it before, in the book of the Ascension of Isaiah, it tells you the nature of the saints who will overcome. Yes? True worship is in making ourselves a living sacrifice. So when it comes to the things of the Most High and serving the Most High, there is no vacation, there is no day off, there is no party, there is no whatever you call it. There's no fun time in worshiping the Most High. Fun time is in the Ruach. When you are connected with the Ruach and you have joy, shalom, and you have all of those fruit of the Ruach that are in you, there is no physical, what you call it now, indulgence when you are truly serving the Most High. So the living sacrifice means every single day you are offered up on the altar as fire, salted with fire. So our whole lives, we have to be prepared that our whole lives will just be one big miserable thing. Because when it becomes miserable, what happens? We turn to the Most High. And when we turn to the Most High, we connect to Him. And when we connect to Him, we can be His sons. Because the word says, if you are led by the Ruach of Yahuwah, you are the sons of YAHUAH. So let's go 1 Peter 2 verse 9 again. And in this covenant, our sacrifices are continuous. We looked at that. And let's go to Romans 9 verse 4. We said it before.
Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the splendor, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of YAHUAH, and the promises.
That is G299. So the service of YAHUAH is the priestly service that we offer as the royal priesthood. And of course, these are spiritual services. Hebrews 9 verse 1 gives an example of how this G299, this service is used.
Then verily the first covenant had also ordinances of divine service and a worldly sanctuary.
So making our bodies a living sacrifice, it is like the priests serving in the temple. No different. Hebrews 9:6.
Now when these things were thus ordained, the priests went always into the first tabernacle, accomplishing the service of YAHUAH.
So we are also to accomplish the service of the Most High. Hence, our lives must be a continual sacrifice unto YAHUAH. Now, people, if we come to serve the Most High and we are not willing, nor ready for our trouble, then we are going to be in trouble. We are going to be in trouble. And if we reach to the point where we want rest from the Most High's will, then something is wrong. Why? The Most High does not give us more than we can bear. So He will put us through trouble, then He gives us rest for us to recover. He gives us breathing room. Then when we recover, He puts us through trouble again. If I am running away from the trouble, so for example now, if He brought me here, trouble, and I'm thinking about running back home or running backwards, then something is wrong. It cannot be right, because the Most High must find a way to give me solace. But He gives me solace, of course, in the Ruach, not in the flesh. So if I'm going in the flesh to find rest, so if, for example, I'm here, trouble gets to me, and I say, you know what, I feel like having a weekend. Let me go to Joburg for a weekend. Something is wrong. Because guess what? I'm looking for rest in the flesh by going and doing the same thing that people in the world do. When people in the world get frustrated, they say, oh, you need a vacation. And what they do? book a vacation to another country or wherever, and they go there for 2 weeks, and then they come back rested. If I am to do the same, even for a day, then something is wrong. So, meaning of continual, Romans 12, a living sacrifice. Living sacrifice. Meaning of continual in the continual burnt offerings. It's from the Hebrew H8548 Talmud, which means properly, which means to stretch, properly continuance as indefinite extension, but used only as adjective, constant or adverbially, elliptically, the regular daily sacrifice. Always, continual employment, continually, daily, evermore, perpetual. So we have to become sacrifices for evermore. And if you look at the meaning of sacrifice again, it's the Hebrew word zebach, which comes from H2076, properly a slaughter. That is the flesh of an animal, by implication a sacrifice, the victim or the act. So we become victims of a slaughter. So we are to be slaughtered every single day. People, if we don't have this mindset, then it is an indication that we have not denied ourselves. Denying self, you will present yourself as a sacrifice every day, just willing to be offered up to do whatever the Most High wants you to do, whatever pressure, whatever problems there is. Okay? All right. Living sacrifice. We must also offer up spiritual sacrifices like Hamashiach. This is what a living sacrifice is. Acts 26:23.
That Hamashiach should suffer, and that he should be the first that should rise from the dead, and should show light unto the people and to the Gentiles.
So it was prophesied and ordained on the heavenly tables that Hamashiach should suffer. Now, if he is the firstborn among many brethren, his brethren also have to suffer. Why do we not want to suffer? Why? Romans 8:17. And we're going to show you in Romans 8:17, it is directly written that we have to do the same. Romans 8:17.
And if children, then heirs, heirs of Yahuwah and joint heirs with Hamashiach, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also magnified together.
All right. So the Christians like to say, repeat this. So we are hearers, we are hearers. We are Gentiles, but we are also hearers. But they forget the other part. If. What does the word if mean? What is it? It's a condition. So we are hearers if we suffer with him. If we so what if we don't suffer with him? We are not hearers. Now, people might be wondering why we are always emphasizing it, because people just don't get it. People just don't get the true emunah, the true faith of the Bible. It's not nice to the flesh man. It is nice to the one who has denied self and is in the Ruach, but it's not nice to the flesh man. You see, we are hearers if so be that we suffer with him. And that is a consequence. So if you suffer with him, you will also be glorified or exalted together. If you don't suffer with him, then you will not be exalted together. Living sacrifice. 1 Peter 2:19-20.
For this is thankworthy, if a man for conscience toward Yahuwah endure grief, suffering wrongfully.
Thankworthy. That means it is good. If, for the sake of your conscience, you endure grief by suffering wrongfully. Now, we're not talking about suffering when you are wrong. We are talking here about suffering when you are right. So how many people, most people do not even want to suffer when they are wrong. But the Most High takes it another step further, and you have to suffer when you are right. He says it's thankworthy if you do this. Verse 20.
For what splendour is it, if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently? But if when you do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable with YAHUAH.
How many times have we read this? It is acceptable to YAHUAH when you do good and you suffer for it wrongfully. It is acceptable unto him. Verse 21.
For even hereunto were ye called, because Hamashiach also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps.
So people, why are we seeking an easy way? Why are we seeking vacations and all of that? Why are we seeking Hamashiach also suffered for us, leaving us as an example. We are called to suffer. No, I don't even think most of us here are suffering. But any little unfortunate situation, even if a situation does not arise, we find some excuse to make it appear as if we are suffering. So, true worship is presenting ourselves as a living sacrifice to be pulverized, to be crushed, to suffer, even unrighteously. That is our true worship of the Most High. No matter what you say, you say you follow Yahuwah and you have on your fringes and you're this and you're that. If you do not have the mindset of suffering for his name's sake, then you are not truly worshiping him. Why? Push comes to shove and real trouble comes and you have a choice to come out, you are going to take that choice to escape. And this is what is going to be facing us as believers in the end. The reason the Most High takes us and is telling us this, it is because the only escape for us from this anti-Messiah system that is coming up and the anti-Messiah that is going to rise up is if we are true worshippers of the Most High. When the pressure comes and bites us, if we are not true worshippers of the Most High unto death, then we are going to strive to find an escape. And in trying to find an escape, we are going to do what? Bow and worship the beast. That's why the Most High is toughening us up. That's why he's bringing us here in the wilderness of the people, to bring us through all sorts of fire and all sorts of trouble and all sorts of foolishness and madness. That we sometimes we look at it and say, what is this? What are we doing here? Sometimes I even say, what kind of people has the Most High brought us among? Seriously. Some things happen when you see Satan comes in and takes his charge, and you see people, nice people, just change. You have to be wondering, what is happening here? Yeah? But what? It is there for our purpose. I'm going to tell you something. Not all of us here are going to make it. It says the wheat and the tares shall grow together when? Some of us are only here to cause trouble. Some of us are only here to strengthen others. Some of us are only here to persecute others. I'm going to tell you the truth. From what the Bible says, wheat and tares, there must be tears among us. Yes. That is why you make the best of what you do. So if you are a tare, you think that you can have a strong desire and you have such a desire the Most High doesn't turn you into wheat. Yeah? When Jonah was to warn Nineveh, Nineveh was slated to destroy. Said, yet 40 days and Nineveh shall be destroyed. What did the people of Nineveh do? They repented. And what YAHUAH says, because you have repented, I will not destroy them. So that is why we're pressuring everybody to make the best of this opportunity. Let no evil come among you. Let no evil lead you. Anything that you do must be right in the sight, right in the words of the Most High. I'm going to tell you this. Because it is only the strongest of the strong that's going to survive. And so every one of us here is there to either help or to prevent the strongest of the strong. Do not be called, let me tell you, wherever you are gathered as a people, Do not be called into groups against the leadership of the Most High. Do not be called into groups against the leadership of the Most High. That is another thing that is very, very serious. And someone sent me this verse, was Devarim 17, as we are speaking about us being gathered together. This is another thing that people just don't get. That, let me get it. Deuteronomy 17. What verse was it again? Deuteronomy 17, verses 8 to 13. Go ahead, please.
If there arise a matter too hard for thee in judgment between blood and blood, between plea and plea, and between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within thy gates, then shalt thou arise and get thee up into the place which YAHUAH thy Elohah shall choose. And thou shalt come unto the priests, the Levites, and unto the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire, and they shall show thee the sentence of judgment.
All right. So the Most High will have people who will do his judgment. Verse 10.
And thou shalt do according to the sentence which they of that place which YAHUAH shall choose shall show thee, and thou shalt observe to do according to all that they inform thee. According to the sentence of the law which they shall teach thee, and according to the judgment which they shall tell thee, thou shalt do. Thou shalt not decline from the sentence which they shall show thee
To the right hand, nor to the left. So when the Most High lays it on the heart of his people to lay on the judgment, you must do what they tell you. You must not decline from the sentence, neither to the right, neither to the left. So when they say A, you do A. You don't do A and add a B or a S to it. Yeah? Yeah. Verse 12.
And the man that will do presumptuously, and will not hearken unto the priest that standeth to minister there before YAHUAH thy Elohah, or unto the judge, even that man shall die.
So when the Most High has someone who he has called to lead, and they minister and they pass judgment, whether it be one person or whether it be a council, if we disobey it, it says, even that man shall die. And when we say die, we know that we, in our covenant, we are the living dead. Meaning death is upon us and we are there thinking we are living because we are in the time of favor. Okay? So we are there thinking we are okay, thinking the Most High is on our side, not knowing that death is upon us. Yeah. Even that man shall die, and thou shalt put away the evil from Yasharal. Verse 13.
And all the people shall hear and fear, and do no more presumptuously.
But guess what? Because we are under grace, the Most High is not executing his judgment immediately. People are not seeing the Most High execute his judgment. Because what? We are in the time of Emunah. We have to believe in his word. Faith cometh from hearing, and hearing by his word. So when he says these things, we have to understand, hey, if a judgment is made and I overrule this judgment, then death is upon me. Huh? Ecclesiastes 8, 11 to 13. Go ahead, please.
Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
So when we are gathered here together, your thief Amikai double. Yeah, so because the sentence is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. People, when we are gathered here together, wheat and the tares, we have to go according to righteousness. Or else our heart is going to be setting us to do evil because we're not seeing the Most High's judgment being executed. Continue, verse 12.
Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear YAHUAH, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before YAHUAH.
Okay. So, where were we again? All right. So yes. So this is our whole call now. Our worship, our sacrifice, living sacrifice, is in true worship to the Most High, which is a living sacrifice. So we go into the meaning of worship in the Old Testament. In the Old Testament, because we're gonna see that when the New Testament speaks about worship, it is actually speaking about it is actually not the worship that most people think. All right, and those who are among us must have heard this one before, but for those who are listening for the first time, meaning of worship in the Old Testament, worship is the Hebrew word shachar, which means to depress, that is prostrate, especially reflexive in homage to royalty or YAHUAH. Prostrate means to go down flat. Bow self down, crouch, fall down flat. Humbly beseech, do make obeisance, do reverence, make to stoop, worship. So that is why when we are worshiping at times, when we are praying to the Most High, you will see us go down on our knees, or may even go down flat. Most people are too proud to go down. This is another thing. When we worship before the Most High, if the one of the kings come and we have to go before the kings, the worldly kings, we have to bow down before them. But when we are worshiping and praying to the Most High, we are too proud to go down. This is another test of denying self. If you are not able or willing to even bow down before the Most High, it means there's too much pride in you to humble yourself before the Most High. A primitive root to depress, that is prostrate, reflexive in homage to royalty or YAHUAH, bow down, bow self down, crouch, fall down flat, humbly beseech, do make obeisance, do reverence, make to stoop, worship. And here's an example in Exodus 24:1. Read it, please.
And he said unto Moses, Come up unto YAHUAH, thou and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Yasharal, and worship ye afar off.
Worship ye afar off. So do we think when they went up to YAHUAH, they were there standing up proudly before him? But let's look at the worship in the New Testament that it refers to the word worship in the New Testament. Because the word worship in the New Testament, they only use one meaning of worship in the New Testament. And that is, I think it's proskuneo. Let's look at example of how the word worship is used. John 4:22 to 24.
Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
Salvation is of the Jews. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. Verse 23.
But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in ruach and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him.
The true worshippers shall worship the Father in ruach and in truth. Verse 24.
YAHUAH is a ruach, and they that worship him must worship him in ruach and in truth.
In ruach and in truth. This is true worship in the New Testament. Now, why must we worship him in ruach? No, before that, let's go to the truth first. Why must we worship him in truth? Psalm 119, 142.
Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
So our worship must include obedience to his law. Remember, we said that worship is in what you do. Obedience, a living sacrifice. Now, doing the law is worship. Not only going up there and hallelujah and all of that is worship. Walking in his commandments is worship to the Most High. Psalm 119, 151.
Thou art near, O YAHUAH, and all thy commandments are truth.
All thy commandments are truth. So we must worship him in Ruach and truth. Ruach and Amat. 163, Psalm 119.
I hate and abhor lying, but thy law do I love.
So I hate lying and I love thy law. That means thy law is not a lie, it is the truth. Psalm 119, 104.
Through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way.
I hate every lie. No, I don't want to go down that chain. Too many of them. We have many, I saw many more that I could. But yeah. So true worship must be in accordance. True worship must be in accordance with obedience to the spirit of the law. Why? We must worship him in spirit and truth. We must worship him in spirit and the law. Therefore, our worship must be in the spirit of the law. Let me go again. Those that worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. And his law is the truth. So if his law is the truth and we must worship him in spirit and the truth, we must worship him in the spirit of the law. I just want us to get that. So that is why Shaul was there speaking about the spirit of the law, not the letter. Spirit of the law, not the letter. Because the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold in sin. So because the law is spiritual, I have to connect with the spiritual and leave the carnal behind. That is why we have to be living sacrifices so that our bodies, our carnal nature can be buried so that we can be spiritual, obeying the spiritual law and being in connection with Yahuwah, who is a Ruach, who is a spirit. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So that is the connection. The spirit of the law. Acts 18:12. True worship must be in accordance with or obedience to the spirit of the law. Acts 18:12.
And when Gallio was the deputy of Achaia, the Jews made insurrection with one accord against Paul, and brought him to the judgment seat, saying, This fellow persuadeth men to worship Yahuwah contrary to the law.
Contrary to the law. So we see worship was laid out in the law. So if you worship contrary to the law, what does that mean? You're not worshiping Yahuwah. So what is it saying about Christians who say the law is done away with? They cannot worship Yahuwah. This persuaded men to worship Allah contrary to the law. If you are contrary to the law, you're not worshiping Yahuwah. Mark 7:7.
Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
You see that? This is Christianity wrapped up right here with these two verses. In vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. You cannot be teaching the commandments of men and be worshiping Yahuwah. We cannot be teaching the doctrines of men and worship Yahuwah because worship is directly correlated to the keeping of the commandments of the law. So we must obey all that the Most High commands us so as to truly worship him. Deuteronomy 8 verse 3.
And he humbled thee, and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man does not live by bread only, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahuwah does man live.
So that's the worship. to live by every word that proceeds out of his mouth. Notice in Deuteronomy 8:3 he says, and he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger. This is why we come to him, we are a living sacrifice. We have to suffer just the same. There's nothing different. There's no difference from Yahuwah. The word says, I am Yahuwah, I changeth not. He does not change. He uses the same strategy over and over. Though we might not be in the wilderness, though we might not be coming out of Egypt, whatever, though we might be in what we call modern times, which is a foolishness, because if these times are so modern, why are we struggling to understand these men? Why are we struggling to understand Apostle Shaul, who was here almost 2,000 years ago, and we say we are modern? Modern what? We are dumb. Because we are just awakening. We are just awakening to the truth. We are foolishly in all sorts of foolishness by religion. Yeah? But anyway, that's just a side note. Even though we are in quote-unquote modern times, his strategy with us is just the same. It does not change. He is going to humble us, suffer us to hunger, fed us manna, which we knew not, that he might make us know that we must live by every word that proceeds from his mouth. And that's what I said earlier, that he brings us through this so that we will lean on him. All the troubles that we're having, we lean on him. And then he will help us through. And Yahushua said the same thing in Luke 4:4. Read it, please.
And Yahushua answered him, saying, It is written, that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of YAHUAH.
All right? Good. So let's look at the spiritual manifestation of worship in New Testament. Because the word that is used in the New Testament for worship is going to deceive us. This is what has deceived many when it speaks about worshiping the beast. Many people were looking for a beast coming out of a literal sea with some horns and all of those things, and then people will be bowing down and worshiping that beast. This is one of the greatest errors. When you talk about mark of the beast, they're laughing because they think about which beast. I don't see any beast coming out of the sea as yet. The beast first has to come out of the sea and all of that. Yeah? Let's look at what the spiritual manifestation of worship in New Testament. Matthew 8 verse 2. We're going to see how simple worship is. Matthew 8 verse 2.
And behold, there came a leper and worshipped him, saying, Master, if thou wilt, thou canst make me clean.
Look at the use of that word. A leper came and worshipped him, saying, the leper did not bow down and say, oh, you are the Most High. Oh, I bow down to you. He just said, if you will, you can make me clean. Therefore, worship just means that you entrust someone to do something and plead with them to do it for you. So when the word speaks about worship of the beast, it is entrusting in the beast. It is what the whole world is doing now. The beast is going out there, setting out their different things and what they want you to do. They say, you have to do this and you have to do that. And they said, oh, well, we just have to do it. How many people have you heard say that? Well, if they said that we have to do it, we just have to do it. We have to live with it. That is worship of the beast. That one. How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to send my children to school? Come on, we just have to do this because we have to do this. That is worship of the beast. Matthew 9 verse 18.
While he spake these things unto them, behold, there came a certain ruler and worshipped him, saying, My daughter is even now dead, but come and lay thy hand upon her, and she shall live.
That's it. My daughter is dead. Come lay your hand upon her, and she shall live. That is worship in the New Testament, and it is in the New Testament it speaks about worship of the beast and his image. It is looking to them for help, people. Matthew 14:33.
Then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, Of a truth, thou art the Son of YAHUAH.
Just believing that he is the son of YAHUAH, it is said that he is worshipped. Simple. Matthew 15:25.
Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Master, help me.
2 words. Help me. And that is worship. So if you look to the beast system now to help you, you worship the beast. It's simple. Matthew 18:26.
The servant therefore fell down and worshipped him, saying, Master, have patience with me, and I will pay thee all.
Simple. Just say, have patience with me and I will pay you. Just beseeching him to give him a little more time to pay him. The Bible says, the New Testament says, this is worship. So when we see worshiping the beast in the New Testament, then we know that it is not a literal worship. Daniel 7, verse 7 to 9. How much time gone, please? Daniel 7, verses 7 to 9. Huh? Okay. Daniel 7, verses 7 to 9. I think I'll have to cut this short. Daniel 7, 7 to 9. Go ahead, please.
After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns.
It had 10 horns. Horns in the scripture speaks of power. Now, this is what is developing on this earth as we speak. The fourth kingdom, they are laying out the foundation of their kingdom as we speak. It is one of those prophecies that we are partaking in. Right now, the fourth kingdom setting up, we are there with it. Now, their plan is to divide the earth into 10 districts. These are the 10 horns. And let's go to verse 8.
And I considered the horns, and, behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things.
So there is going to come up a power. And this is the anti-Messiah. I don't know if it is a system or the anti-Messiah himself. It says, there was a little horn, and where is it? 3 of the first horns were plucked up by the roots. So 3 of the 4 powers will be removed, and this power will stand in its stead. And very interesting, it says, behold, in his horn were eyes like the eyes of man. Like the eyes of man. But if it says it's eyes like the eyes of man, I'm trying to find what the meaning of that like is. I want to find out. Daniel 7:27a. Let me go and see if there's any Hebrew for that like there, because it doesn't show here. Daniel 7. What did I say? Daniel 7:8. Let me quickly go and see that like, because that like is a very tricky word. Because if it said like the eyes of man, it means that it is not the eyes of man. Verse 8. Just give me a little, please. I just want to see if there's a Hebrew for the like. Eyes like the eyes. Of course, there is like the eyes. H5870. Let me put it on the screen if I can. Let me see if we can find something here. H5870. Where is that? All right, it should be on now. H5870. No, it's not on. Why did not know this? All right, let's hope we get something out of it. We've spent some time on it. Let's hope we get something out of it. All right. Like, it's ayin. Oh. It just gives us I, but it does not give us anything about like. Oh, come on. Let me get backwards and see it. Because like, Like it says, like the eyes. Same age 58, 70. But to me, what I'm looking at is it says eyes like the eyes of man, which would mean it might not possibly be the eyes of man, but it looks like the eyes of man. Anyway, so we were at what? Verse 9. We went to verse 9?
Not yet.
Yeah, go to verse 9, please.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
All right. And the hair of his head like the pure wool. So if we were to see the Most High, we would see a black man. Only black people have woolly hair. People. So even the Most High has hair like the pure wool. Anyway, that was a side note. So let's go. So this fourth beast, a very significant thing because we're talking about worship, right? We're talking about worship and how true worship, which is making our bodies a living sacrifice, will insulate us from the beast, will protect us from the beast. Because the fourth beast will wear out the saints and think to change times and laws. We're going to look at what this means, the fourth beast wearing out the saints. Because if you're not in tip-top shape, you're going to be worn out. If you are not totally protected, we are going to be worn out and we are going to bow to the beast. Daniel 7:23.
Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces.
Break it in pieces and set up their 10 horns. Go ahead.
And the 10 horns out of his kingdom are the 10 kings that shall arise.
Are 10 kings that shall arise. And another?
And another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings.
This is the anti-Messiah, verse 25.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time.
So the saints will be given into his hand. They will be given into his hand. So if we are not giving true worship to the Most High, he's going to get us. Verse 7, Revelation 13, which matches up with Daniel 7.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
So he's going to be able to overcome the saints. The saints, the saints, the saints. That is why only true worship will protect us. Only the fittest of the fittest will survive. This is a true state. Only the fittest of the fittest will survive. Because the Most High is going to take his sins, throw it to the beast. And it was given. Given by whom? Given by the Most High. Unto him to make war with the saints. Because only the Most High can give permission for us to be touched. And to overcome them. That's very important. So it says, he shall speak great words against the Most High and shall wear out the saints. What does wear out mean? The meaning of wear out. Let's go to, what was that? Daniel 7, where was that? Daniel 7:25. Let's go and look at the meaning of wear out. Daniel 7:25. shall wear out the saints, and he shall and shall wear out. That's H1080. It is Bela, corresponding to H1086, to wear away, wear out, A, to harass constantly. So we have to corresponding to H1086, but use only in a mental sense, to afflict, wear out. Let's see 1086. So he will wear out the saints, which means it says use only in a mental sense. So what does that mean? He will work on the minds of the saints. He will work on the minds of the saints. So if the saints are not offering true worship unto the Most High, if they are gazing left, gazing to the right, if they are distracted, going off into Babylon, going off into Joburg on a weekend, going off into this, going off into that, going into the malls, getting shopping and gazing and everything, guess what? They will be in his hand. Those saints who are stringent and living sacrifices and as living straight directly, it was focused on the kingdom, he cannot get them. H1086, Bala. Wear out, right? To wear out, become old. To wear out. To wear out by use or use up completely. To enjoy, use to the full. Now, Bala, Strong's definition, to fail. That means the saints will fail. By implication, to wear out, to decay, causatively consume or spend. So they will consume the saints. Consume, enjoy long, become wax old, spend, waste. They shall waste away the saints. Very serious if we are not offering true worship. And here's another one. It says, he shall think to change times and laws. Think to change times and laws. It is from the Hebrew word sebar, H5452, a primitive root to bear in mind. That is hope. So many people, and this word is in the Bible only once. Once. So many people were saying that, oh, this happened before they changed times and they changed laws. It says, it didn't say that they change it. It says they shall think to change times and laws. They shall bear it in mind. They shall hope to change times and laws. And the meaning of laws there is which one again? Did I put it there? No, I didn't put the word, so I don't know where it is. So the saints are given into the hand of the beast. The Ascension of Isaiah is a book that you can download from our website. We've used it here before, but now once again we use it because it is now applicable once again. The saints. Ascension of Isaiah, chapter 4, verse 4. Can you read it, please, George? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Read it, please. This is speaking about the anti-Messiah that we just wrote about in Daniel 7. This leader or ruler in the end.
This ruler in the form of that king will come, and there will come with him all the powers of this world, and they will hearken unto him in all that he desires. And at his word the sun will rise at night, and he will make the moon to appear at the 6th hour. And all that he hath desired he will do in the world. He will do and speak like the beloved, and he will say, I am Yahuwah, and before me there has been none. And all the people in the world will believe in him, and they will sacrifice to him, and they will serve him, saying, This is Yahuwah, and beside him there is no other.
So all the people in the world will believe in him. What verse 9 says? No, it's at the side. And
And they greater number of those who shall have been associated together in order to receive the beloved, he will turn aside after him.
The greater number of those who have been gathered together, associated together, waiting on the Messiah, will turn aside after the anti-Messiah. Why? They were not living sacrifices. They were not focused on the task at hand. So that is why people are always going to be wanting to go back to the world. And of course, like when I give the example of Joburg, there's nothing wrong with going to Joburg for a weekend. I'm using it for people who seek a vacation, because you might have things that you have to do there. Yes, you might have things you have to do. But those people who are not focused will seek through leisure to go and to get vacation. The people who are focused on the way, the truth, and the life will be willing to suffer for righteousness' sake, will not be seeking out pleasure nor leisure. So the greater number of those associated together in order to receive Yahushua will turn aside after him. And of course, this matches with Revelation 13:7, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And again, from the ascension of Isaiah, it tells us that the true believers, what they will be doing. This is why it's important to make your body a living sacrifice. And you might hate and you might shun the things that we teach, but this is where you have to be. Your mindset has to be in the dirt. You have to be willing to be nothing. Or else the beast is going to get you. You are going to worship the beast. Verse 11, chapter 4.
And he will set up his image before him in every city.
He will set up his image, the image of the beast. And we looked at that a few weeks ago. The image of the beast that you may find. You will not find it on YouTube. You'll find it on our justaword.tv website as the featured video. Go ahead.
And he shall bear sway 3 years and 7 months and 27 days.
That's very accurate, isn't it? 3.5 years, but he goes to 7 months and 27 days. Go ahead.
And many believers and saints, having seen him, for whom they were hoping, who was put to death, Yahushua HaMashiach the Master, after that I, Isaiah, had seen him who was put to death and ascended, and those also who were believers in him, of these few in those days will be left as his servants, while they flee from desert to desert, awaiting the coming of the beloved.
Few believers will be left. So when you hear us preaching and teaching the hard word, it is because only a few people will be left. It is fittest of the fittest. Only a few will be left, fleeing from desert to desert. So if you have not made your body a living sacrifice, if our bodies are not living sacrifices, then guess what? We are going to bow to the anti-Messiah when he comes. If we are not living sacrifices, people, if we have not put the past on hold, if you have not put the Christianity on hold, because Christianity is a thing. Christianity gets us into this thing that we have to make provision for our flesh at some time. We have to take a break and make provision for our flesh. When we do that, we will be snared. Shaul said, and we are, Let me get the exact verse. Romans 13:14. Are we there near a Bible? All right, no. Let me find a Bible. Yeah, Romans 13:14.
But put ye on Yahuwah HaMashiach, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lusts thereof.
That's what I just said, right?
should have said the Master Yahushua HaMashiach.
Yeah. No, I mean, make no provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. So the neo-Christian thinking is that we always have a little time that we set aside for the flesh. Shaul is saying, when you put on Yahushua HaMashiach, you will make no provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. Because flesh comes with lust. And who dwells in lust? Who loves lust? Hasatan. As soon as there is any form of lust, he just presents himself and says, here I am. Here I am, ready to satisfy your lust and desire. And when he satisfies your lust and desire, then he has you, bam, wrapped up to use at his will.
A trap.
Yeah, it's a trap. When you give him permission, he got you. So let's get back down now. But the good thing about it is that the kingdom shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. Here's another one that we're looking into to get more insights. The kingdom shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. Read 26 and 27, please.
But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and to destroy it unto the end. And the kingdom and dominion, and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven, shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him.
Why didn't he just say, it shall be given to the saints of the Most High? Why did he say, unto the people of the saints of the Most High? Because he's telling you exactly who the kingdom will be given to. It will not be given to Gentiles, people. Let me burst your bubble. Those Gentiles who think, oh, we're all equal. Oh, it's the same. And oh, equal this. Equal nothing. Psalm 148 verse 14 will tell you who the saints are. Read it, please.
He also exalteth the horn of his people.
The horn of who?
His people.
His people. The Daniel 27:27 tells you will be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. Now, he also exalted the horn of his people. Continue.
The praise of all his saints, even of the children of Yasharal, a people near unto him. Praise ye Yahuwah.
That's it. The people of the saints of the Most High are the children of Israel. The kingdom will be given to a nation. It's not going to be given to the whole world. So the outline of biblical usage of H5972, which is the word am, which means people. Outline of Bible usage. The people of the saints of the Most High. The word people there means nation, people, nation, persons, member of one's people, compatriot or compatriot, whatever, countrymen, kinsmen, kindred. So the world will be given to a family. Just want to clear that up. So everybody will be hearing these things and thinking, oh, this is for me. Don't get it twisted. It is for a nation. So the fourth beast is manifested today in Revelation 13, and we've looked at it so many times. You should know it by heart. Revelation 13, verses 1 to 8. You all know it by heart. Should we even look at it? Revelation 13, 1 to 8, but this is the Most High's word. It cannot get stale. Revelation 13, 1 to 8. Read, please.
And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
G7. Go verse 2.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority. So
I think this is Daniel 2, when he's speaking about the different nations that would arise in the world. The last kingdom is going to encompass all of the nations, which is why it is like unto a leopard, feet of a bear, that. Yeah. Verse 3.
And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast.
Rome, rejuvenated Rome coming back. One of his head, deadly wounds was healed. Verse 4.
And they worshipped the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?
All right, you see the worship now? You see how simple it is? They worship the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? That's it, simple you need to say. All you have to do is just rate this beast and say, wow, that beast is great. Yeah? So when this new world order comes together and you say, wow, this is a great kingdom, this is a great thing, that is worship of the beast. As simple as that. Yeah? Yeah? Yes. That's exactly what they say with NATO. Who can make war with NATO? NATO is so powerful, all powerful. Who can make war with them? That is worship of the beast. Verse 5.
And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
Verse 6.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against YAHUAH, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven.
So very importantly for us now, verse 7, again it keeps coming up. Read it, please.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints,
and to
overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
All right, stop, please. Let's look at what it means to overcome. Because we keep saying overcome them. Let's see what it means. Power was given over to make war with the saints and to overcome them. Now, the word overcome there, let me get it on the screen, is the Greek word nikao. Nikao. This is where we get Nicolaitan, Nikolaos. From G3529. This is what they do to us in their Nicolaitan religion, Christianity. From G3529, to subdue, literally or figuratively. Conquer, overcome, prevail, get the victory. So they're going to get the power to get the victory over the saints. This is the end time now that we're talking about, this fourth kingdom. So that is why as saints now, we have to throw away every single thing of the past, everything of foolishness, and concentrate on training. It's training that we're in. We have to concentrate on training ourselves so that when the Most High gives them power to overcome the saints, then we are not overcome. So at a time when we should be training, getting ready to be able to stand up against the beast, what are we doing? Our minds are strayed, going away from, going all over the place to different things. We want this, I want this, I want to do this, I want this, I want this. No, now is not the time for that. You see, we are at a time in the history of the world that has never been. This is the end of the Bible. We are the end time saints. How we were in the world, this is something different. When you come and the Most High takes you into training now for this, it is training for the end. So when you go to war and you join the army, what do you think you do? You live here and you take a bus and go to training camp, and then in the evening you go and you take a bus back home. Then you take a bus the next morning. Then you take a bus. No. They take you and they might take you miles away. They put you on a training camp where every single thing there is concentrated on getting you ready for the battle. That is what the Most High has done to us here. Called us. He says, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. And he called us together and put us together here in this training camp to get us ready for this that we are reading about. No, those people who are not willing to go into deep training, to give up on the past and surrender to fight this battle are going to lose the battle. Why? Because he said he will bring us into the wilderness of the people. And we're going to look at it again. That we can't get rid of that. That is our hallmark of us as believers. We are going to be in the wilderness of the people, and we are going to be purged. I can't understand. We just don't get it. We just don't get it. Until we see the Most High executing before our very eyes, then we will get it. Exodus 20:33. Ezekiel 20:33. Sorry.
As I live, says Yahuwah Elohah, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out, will I rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people, and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered, with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face.
The wilderness of the people. He's going to gather people together, and it's going to be one big, crazy affair. Verse 36.
Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, says Yahuwah Elohah. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant.
Yeah, you're going to go pass under the rod. That means you're going to go under the heat. Discipline. Problems, troubles, trials, hardness, toughness, miserableness. Verse 8.
And I will purge out from among you the rebels.
All right. So that's it. Those of us who go through all of this and we remain rebellious, we are going to be purged. Very, very simple. And continue.
And them that transgress against me.
And those that continue to transgress against the Most High. Continue.
And I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Yasharal, and ye shall know that I am Yahuwah.
So he is going to purge those of us who he took from different places, and we have gone through this and we refuse to be changed. He is going to purge us. Now, all right, we were at verse in, what verse were we in Revelation 13? Yes, verse 8.
And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
So everybody in this world is going to still follow this system. Why do you think it is so hard for us to convince people to leave this system? Because people worship the beast. All right? They look to this system, even believers here. How many people, why do you think it's so hard for people to leave Babylon? Because they literally worship the beast and they don't know. Because they are looking to the beast for their sustenance. They're hoping that all of this is just one hoax, one big hoax. They're hoping that all of this, that we are wrong and that this is not real, because they want to remain in the comforts of Babylon. But it says, all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the Lamb's book of life, in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. So only those whose names are in the book of life, and remember, our names can be in the book of life, and the Lamb strikes them out of the book of life. Because it tells us that I will not blot out your name out of the book of life. That means we can be in there and still be blotted out. Okay? So, let's look at this beast, because we speak about the beast and our emphasis is usually on the mark of the beast only. But how many ways can the beast condemn us? Because we just look at the worship of the beast, how easy it is for the beast to condemn us. How many ways can the beast condemn us? Revelation 13:4.
And they worshipped the dragon which gave power unto the beast, And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?
So from that verse, we see one, worship of the beast can condemn us. Revelation 13:17.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
So we see from that we have the mark, we have the name of the beast, we have the number of his name. Revelation 14:11.
And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up for ever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name.
So from that we have worshipping the image of the beast. So if we put them together, I get about 5 different ways in which the beast can overcome us. Number 1, worshipping the beast. Number 2, worshipping the image of the beast. Number 3, receive the mark of the beast. Number 4, receive the number of his name. And number 5, have the name of the beast. See how many ways we can be defiled. So what is this telling us for those who remain in Babylon? Very, very dangerous thing that you're doing. Because in order to overcome the beast, you're going to be right in the middle of the beast. And in order to eat, to survive, you are going to have to depend on the beast. That is worshiping the beast. It's very, very hard. That's why the Most High tells us to flee out of Babylon. Because remember, in Matthew, one of the ways of worship, and she worshipped him, saying, Master, help me. That is worship. So you're going to be in the midst of Babylon, and you're going to be looking for the system to help you. That is worshiping the beast, because the beast, remember, is a system, as well as the beast also refers to the anti-Messiah who will be leading the system. So the victors in the end have to overcome. Revelation 15:2 tells us all the things that we have to overcome. This is why we have to get out from among them and separate ourselves and to be independent of the system. Because Revelation 15:2 tells us all the things that we have to overcome.
And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of Yahuwah.
So you see how many things that we have to overcome the beast. Yeah? Now, all of these now who have overcome the beast will be set apart and protected and will enter the kingdom. But for all others, this is what's going to happen to them. Revelation 15 verses 5 to 6.
And after that I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was opened. And the 7 angels came out of the temple, having the 7 plagues, clothed in white, in pure and white linen, and having their breasts girded with golden girdles.
So when they come out with the 7 plagues, what do you think they're going to do? Pour out the plagues. So those of us who don't overcome all of those things, the plagues will be upon us. For those who have overcome, we will be protected from this plague. So we did a teaching a few weeks ago about the image of the beast, and setting up of the image of the beast is now in progress. And we spoke about the, what you call it again? The image of the beast, and how AI, artificial intelligence, is connected to it. Now this week, let me tell you something in this AI world. This world is coming fast. This is happening so rapidly. It is mind-boggling. How much time is gone, please? Of what these people... Okay, good. Of what these people are actually doing with this AI, or how fast this AI is taking over our lives. Yes? Now, Google just revealed their system. It's called Google Bard. And I saw it as an advertisement while I was on Facebook. I saw it as an advertisement. And where is it? Google Bard. Famine of the word coming through artificial intelligence. You're telling people and you think it's a joke. This artificial intelligence is going to be used to give us a famine of the word. Read about Google Bard. This now that I'm reading is their ad that they put up, what they wrote for their ad.
That's too blurred.
All right, Google Bard 2, version 2, new version. Hear this. 50 times smarter than the first version. Not only supports the advertising and marketing industry, but also knows how to compose music, compose stories, draw pictures, edit videos, design. And it shows somewhere that means there are many more things that it can do, according to the content you require. AI is fast becoming the future of advertising. Advertisers are already using AI to identify and segment audiences, create ad creatives, test ads, improve ad performance, and optimize spend, all automatically, according real time on a massive scale. Now, I went up and read a little about Bard, what their Bard is. And I saw an article on Android Authority that said Bard is built on Lambda, which stands for Language Model for Dialogue Applications. In plain English, it's a machine learning model that's trained on text samples and optimized to predict words and sentences. The result is a conversational chatbot that outputs human-like dialogue. All right? This is the likeness of a man. The company says Bard can help with creative tasks, explaining complex topics, and generally distilling information from various sources on the internet. It can also handle nuanced queries like finding recipes tailored to the ingredients you have in your fridge. That isn't something you can do with Google search alone today. Beyond simple questions, you can also ask for opinions like, is piano or guitar easier to learn? And how much practice does each need? These open-ended questions can be difficult to answer even for a human, requiring at least a few minutes of research. So this is the intelligence that is coming to us. Now, I looked at the meaning of Bard. Let me go there. I looked at the meaning of Bard. Let me find it because it is very interesting. Because you know, these people do not choose names just like that. Where is it? Let me find it. Yeah, they do not choose names just like that. Everything that they do, and as I speak, I put up a QR code before. That QR code is evil people try to stay away from it. This is what they're going to be using in their system. The what? Yes. Yeah. Deep meaning in the Hebrew. Let's look at what it means in English. Bard. In Celtic cultures, a bard is a professional storyteller. Here's where we're going to get the famine of the word. These AI are going to be able to tell stories, to construct stories. They are going to take the Bible and they are going to rewrite it. This week, before I go into this week, Yuval Noah, I don't know if you know him, that proud homosexual Jewish person, made a statement. And I watched the video. And he said, let me get the exact words that he said. Is it here? No, it's not here. He said, no, I don't have it here. Where do I have it? That AI has the capability to rewrite the Bible. And he said that within a few years. But I know when they say within a few years, they are able to do it. Yeah. Because the last time they were speaking about what they're doing with the human body, with that thing that they put in the body, they were saying within a few years, and we know that they have already done it. So he said within a few years, AI will write the own Bible. He said, everyone comes and say that their book is the true book. But AI is able to rewrite the Bible so that we can get a true book or true holy book or something like that. Uh, Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. And we know that there's demons behind these things. So they are planning to rewrite. This is why we're talking about famine of the word. It's no coincidence. Okay? And then it was this week, was it? Then we got another video showing us that they are planning to execute their passport. And on execution of their passport, they're going to have a strategy of attacking alternative media to ensure that no negative comes up about it. That is why we cannot even say anything about that thing on here, because the AI, artificial intelligence, is scouring the internet to make sure that certain words are not said. Now, when they scour the internet for these words, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to add more and more words that they score for. Pretty soon, they're going to might start with Christianity. You can't say Jesus, or you might not be able to say Yahuwah. When they do that, then they'll lock you down for that. And they have a 3-strike rule. If you get 3 strikes within 90 days, they shut down your account. What do you think is going to happen? It's going to make it impossible for us to speak the truth. As simple as that. So in addition, they can rewrite everything, because most of us consume the Bible through what? Digitally. When they rewrite that thing, and then they make it compulsory for everyone on Google Play or everyone on Google App Store, Apple App Store, is that what it's called? Apple App Store, to update their Bibles to such and such. What do you think is going to happen? You see, these Bibles that we're reading on these things, these people can change it at any time. Famine of the word. So easy. These people can have us. Yes? So this is what Yuval Noah Harari, he's a World Economic Forum advisor, he said, think about a religion whose holy book was written by AI. That could be the reality within a few years. A religion whose holy book was written by AI. And he went on to even say that they would get a good book out of it, not a silly one. No, that's not the word he used. But he's actually saying that the Bible is foolishness. So you're not going to get foolishness this time. You're going to get a good book written by artificial intelligence. All right, so what are we saying here? What did we look at today? We looked at the importance of worship and true worship. We looked at true worship being the willingness to sacrifice, to offer up ourselves as living sacrifices. That is true worship. And true worship is in obedience to the law, in obedience to the spirit of the law, because Yahuwah is seeking those who worship him in Ruach and Amat. True worship is going through the fire, as Hamashiach said. You shall salt, and I want us to look at that again. That one is very important for us because it's the New Testament. I'm trying to remember where it was. Let me go where Hamashiach said. Mm-hmm. Where did Mashiach say? It was in Leviticus. Was it Leviticus 2? Was Mark 7:43 to something, right? Let me get it. Need to get a Bible. All right, Mark 7. Mark 9. 43 to something. Very important. Yeah, Mark 9. 49.
For everyone shall be salted with fire, and every sacrifice shall be salted with salt.
So we have to be willing to go through the fire. We have to be willing to go through the fire. And let us remind ourselves by going back to the book of Sirach. Is it Sirach 2? Is it? Let's go back to Sirach 2 as a reminder. It seems like we need a reminder. Sometimes some things come up and I say, no, we've done this too much. But guess what? We keep forgetting. Like Doobie Brothers, Michael McDonald. We keep forgetting. The Sirach 2 verse 1. We keep forgetting. Read it, please.
My son, if thou come to serve Yahuwah, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Mm-hmm.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Mm-hmm.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
Mm-hmm.
For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Let's stop at this fire here. Gold is tried in the fire. And what did Hamashiach say? We shall be salted with? Right, continue.
Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him.
So that's why we said, when you're going through this, then you will turn to him, and that is how you will be connected to his Ruach. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Continue.
Ye that fear Yahuwah, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall.
And go not where?
Aside.
Aside.
Don't be distracted.
All right, verse 8.
Ye that fear Yahuwah, believe him, and your reward shall not fail.
Mm-hmm.
Ye that fear Yahuwah, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in Yahuwah and was confounded?
Mm-hmm.
Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken?
Mm-hmm.
Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
Yeah, so you see, we just have to go through this roughness. Just like soldiers who are in a camp. We go through the training for a while, we just have to know, I have 6 months of training, I'm going to tough it out. And you know, when the 6 months is up, you're good. It's the same thing with us. All we have to do is trust in him and go through the fire. And in our last end, he will lift us up. Verse 11.
For Yahuwah is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction.
So even while we're being afflicted, the Most High will put us into the affliction for a while and then come and save us out of it. Yes? It is like when you're teaching someone to swim and you have them in the water and then you let them go. And then when you see that they are sinking, you go and you lift them up back. That is the Most High. And that is the only way you learn. You can't learn to swim unless you are allowed and left on your own. Verse 12.
Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth 2 ways.
Double-mindedness, woe unto those who are double-minded. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Woe be unto him. Verse 13.
Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended.
You see? In the end time, those who are faint-hearted, those who are fearful, those who are faint-hearted, those who are double-minded are going to be in trouble. Verse 14.
Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will you do when Yahuwah shall visit you? They that fear Yahuwah will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. They that fear Yahuwah will seek that which is well-pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. They that fear Yahuwah will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight, saying, we will fall into the hands of Yahuwah, and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy.
Praise ye Yahuwah.
Yeah,
This is a summary of what we're saying here today. Coming. So we are going through this. We are going through this. And we are going through rough times and struggles. But we are, guess what? We are in the hands of Yahuwah. So we prefer to do this rather than now to be going into the hands of man with this anti-Messiah system that is coming up. Because so is his majesty, so is his mercy. So though we are going through this rough times and it's tough and it's rough, his mercy is right there with us. Yeah. Go ahead, Amikai. 2 Corinthians 4, 16 to 18. Yes?
For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of splendor. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal.
So fitting way to end. Light affliction for this moment, but it is an investment into a far more exceeding and eternal weight of splendor. But that is not seen. So we don't look at the things which are seen, but we look at the things which are not seen, which are the eternal things. All right? So that's it for what I have for today. Are there any questions on YouTube?
The end.
End, he said. Finish.
Baruch 4:25. I say yes, the end. Baruch 4:25. Go ahead.
My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from Yahuwah. For thine enemy has persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction,
and shall tread upon his neck. This was worth it, Yazzie. This was worth it. Eh? Say it again. Read it again, George.
My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from Yahuwah. For thine enemy hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shall tread upon his neck.
All right, that's it. All the more reasons, people, that we have to just man up or woman up and just struggle through. Struggle through. Yeah, that's it. Right. So let me see YouTube. What am I doing here? Oh, what? I'm not signing to YouTube. What's going on here? What's going on? Oh, it's here. Uh-huh. All right, so let me see what's going on. Nobody was monitoring YouTube. Yeah? I see Armstrong, I see Hassad. If there are any questions on YouTube, please lay them out before we go. Elisha, someone contributed Leviticus 24:1. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Yasharal that they bring unto thee pure olive oil beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually. Yes, the olive oil must be beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually. So in order for us to have eternal life, we must get beaten continually. That's just how it is. No pain, no gain. Someone is asking, please, where can I find Ascension of Isaiah reference? You can download the book of the Ascension of Isaiah from our website, justaword.org/downloads. justaword.org/downloads. John 14:15 says, Satan will be given power to make war with the saints, and the saints are the children of Yasharal, and the Gentiles are not saints. So can Gentiles expect to have Satan make war with them as well? Well, in the end, in Isaiah 14, it tells you that the strangers shall be joined to Yasharal and shall cleave to them. Let's go there. Even though some of us know this by heart, Isaiah chapter 14. This is the question as to whether Satan will make war with the Gentiles. Isaiah 14, read from verse 1, please.
For Yahuwah will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Yasharal, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
So the strangers being joined to the children of Yasharal. What do you think? That Hasatan will make war with the children of Israel alone and leave the strangers? No, because the strangers are going with them. Okay? So Isaiah 14:1 explains that question that you asked. Oh yes, and so Joshua Riggs answered, the Gentiles will have to endure the same and be joined to the children. Yes. Our Lioness Swan says we are in dangerous times now. We need Yahuwah more now than ever. This lesson is a must for me. Thank you for this knowledge you share. All praises. Kay says Romans 11. Oh, she was referring to the Gentiles. PJ says a lot of people are already using it on TikTok. And it's the AI telling Bible stories, and so many people are using it. Wow. So if AI are using Bible studies, they're going to twist everything. Yeah. All right. All praises to the Most High for for Just a Word Bible study. Assault AZCA. I don't understand that. Assault Arizona, California. I don't know what that means. AZCA. Anyway, thank you for the lesson. Brian Bino was wondering about fringes and the ribbon of blue. You said it was different. All right. The fringes and the ribbon, it's not ribbon of blue, it's riband, which is actually a border of blue. Let's go there. Numbers 15:37. Numbers 15:37. The royal blue that they use. Numbers 15:37. Read it, please.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharal, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a riband of blue.
They put upon the fringe of the borders a riband of blue. Let's look at that verse. A riband, there is a bracelet, a lace, a line, a riband, a thread, a wire. So that is why we have this thin border of blue around our clothing. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. This is the riband of blue border, which is made of a thin line, a lace, a thread, a wire of blue. So this blue now, is it on the screen? No, it's not. Let me go into the Bible. Yeah. So this blue, 1537, I said. A riband of blue. So that is the riband, pathil, twine, bound, bracelet, lace, line, ribbon, thread, or wire. Now, the blue is tekelet, probably from 878-27, the cerulean muscle. That is the color violet obtained thereof from stuff dyed therewith, blue. So the cerulean blue is kind of a violetish blue. Some people use royal blue, but if we go from what it's saying, and funny enough, over that side of the world, we could not find the cerulean blue, but we came to South Africa. We found the cerulean blue in abundance here. This is it. It's a blue, but it has a violet tinge to it. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Instead of using the ribbon,
Yeah.
you can just stitch it with cerulean blue threading alone.
Technically, according to what the thing says, a lace or something of blue. Technically. All right. So where were we again? Let me see if there are any other questions. Yeah. Huh? Tetraman, how do you establish visa residency for where you are? Can I email you? I'm not going to go into any interview about residency and all of those things. The most I say, flee out of the midst of Babylon, and I fled out of Babylon. Yes? People who want to know about residency, because we don't relocate, we run, we flee. And when you flee, no matter what the danger ahead, you flee. All right, Tetramam, it's as simple as that. I'm telling it plain as exactly what it is. Our walk is a walk of M&R. It is not a walk where you calculate your moves and you calculate what you're going to do next, and you know this and you calculate that and you say, okay, I'm doing this. No, it is a walk. Huh? It is a walk that you just do. You just do it like Nike. Yeah. All right, but teaching rock is, yeah. Thank you. PJ says, can women wear pants? That is a whole teaching in itself. Deuteronomy 22:5. Oh boy. Deuteronomy 22:5. Oh boy. PJ, why did you do this? Deuteronomy 22:5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto YAHUAH, thy YAHUAH. Now, I see, let me go to, in dealing with this, it says precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little, there a little. Now, the reason why a woman can wear pants, yes, but the set apart people of the Most High, the children of Yasharal, must not do it. Why? Deuteronomy 7, verse 6. Oh, I'm not in the Bible. Deuteronomy 7, verse 6.
For thou art a set apart people unto Yahuwah thy Elohah. Yahuwah thy Elohah hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all the people that are upon the face of the earth.
So he chose these people specially to be set apart unto him, to be unique. To be unique. Yes? That is why it says in 1 Peter 2 verse 9, you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people. Peculiar means unique. So when you have this debate about should we wear pants, should we not wear pants, that is for religion. Go and debate that in the religion. But when it comes to the children of Israel must not do it. Because the Most High makes a distinction between his people and every other nation in the world. Now go back to Deuteronomy 22:5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. The operative word there is pertaineth. And it is keli, something prepared, that is any apparatus or as an implement, utensil, dress, vessel, or weapon, armor, bear, that is made of one from another, that which pertaineth. So something which pertains to something is what which relates to something. So a pants was originally pertaining to a man, and it was through it became popular through the women's lib movement. Now you have Gentiles all over this world in the history that you can dig up, and they wore pants. But the children of Israel, a peculiar people, did not do so. So you may look up, someone even looked up in history and saw some Turkish or some people. These are Gentiles. Some people wearing pants and say, oh, pants was being worn a long time ago. Not by the Israelites. And we are called to be special, to return unto him in holiness. So us, the children of Israel, yes, Gentiles, you can go wear your pants. You can sort it out with the Most High later. But for us, the children of Israel, we are a peculiar people. We are a unique people, a special people unto the Most High, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And so we go by the instructions of the Most High. Don't wear that which pertaineth to a man. Even in here where we are in South Africa, we see it. The younger women wear pants. The older women still wear their dresses and have their heads wrapped. But the young girls generally don't have their hairs wrapped. They're dressed Western. That is what I have seen. Okay? Which shows that it is history that is changing everything. So maybe another generation or two, everyone would have worn pants, and everyone in South Africa would believe that women always wore pants. Because it says in the book of Ecclesiastes, there is no remembrance of former things. Yeah? We're not going to remember the former things. So the children of Israel shall not wear pants. All right? Would be the same for shorts as well. Shorts is even worse. Yeah. Do the Gentiles need to wear the ribbon of or blue as well? That is a very good question. But if I am a Gentile cleaving to the Most High, I will do everything that the Most High says. It says, one law shall be for you and for the stranger that sojourns among you. Huh? Yeah. One law. So I would do that because he says we are to obey his commandments. That is what I would do. But the word does not tell us exactly about that. I am just saying from what the word says. That is what I would get from that. But that's not saying that that is what it is. All right? So anyone out there who is listening to us, you may email us by going to any one of our websites, jawradio.org, jawradio.org, or justaword.org. And you may leave the question in the message form. All right? And we should get it. And just to announce to those who are out there, our new podcast website, the Bible Truth Revealed podcast, and it is at jawpodcast.com. Jawpodcast.com. Please check it out and please share it. There we leave the link in the chat, and this will be podcast that another way for the word to go out as well. Someone says, do only men have to wear the ribbon or women can wear it also? Exodus 15:13, Exodus 15:30, Numbers 15:37 says this. This answers your question. Numbers 15:37 to 38 says,
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharal, and
all
bid
right.
them.
Did it say, speak unto the men of Yasharal? He says, no, speak unto the children of Yasharal, and bid them that they make fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations. That means the children and the children's children. It is our uniform as Israelites forever. All right. Let's go to all right, thanks for a fine lesson. All praises to the Most High. All right, so that's it. There are no more questions. That's it. Thank you all for watching. 56 watching now. Oh, that's good. 56 persons watching and only 33 likes. If you like, please like. If you don't like, don't like. But if you like, please like this video and please leave a message and please share and comment. Whatever you can do. If you got value from this, please help us to make it go. All right, I've seen already 3. It's gone up to 36. Please, people, please like this video. 39, good. Please like this video. All right? All right, so thank you all for watching. It was a pleasure bringing this word to you. And until next time, shalom.
Shalom.